Hey everybody, Ralph Smith here for Store One Studios. Guys, I want to take a couple minutes and talk about really a question that gets asked quite often in my CCNA collaboration and even the CCNP collaboration courses regarding Cisco IP phone services. So the most common Cisco IP phone service we do talk about in those two different disciplines is going to be Cisco Extension Mobility. Pretty popular feature that's become more popular over the last couple of years. However, the question I get asked through Ask a Mentor, direct email, or in the classes is, are there any IP phone services that we can deploy in production? And then on top of that, to kind of sweeten it up, is are there any free IP phone services we can deploy to kind of test in production, lab, or demo environments? And the answer, of course, is yes. So based on your feedback and based on what I use, is a company that we're all pretty familiar with, or we've probably heard of, and maybe if you haven't, you will now, is a company called Singlewire. So if you go, wait a minute, Singlewire, that does sound familiar. What do they do? Well, if we go to their website, the most common application you guys have probably heard of, or maybe you've heard of in passing, is an application or product called InformaCast, the paging server. So on the Downloads tab, we have InformaCast, and then now known as Cisco Paging Server is the InformaCast basic paging application. Now, for the purpose of this video, we're going to spend time looking at the XML applications. So we're going to go down to the bottom, and then here's that magical word, free XML apps. If we click on this link, what that'll do is take us to the individual page, which shows us a screen capture of what they provide for absolutely free, right? No buttons attached. Pretty awesome. So in order to deploy this free IP phone service in your production call manager, demo, or lab environment, all you have to make sure of is that those applications, that call manager, can reach the internet and resolve DNS. Now, if you click on the free XML phone service, which I've already done previously, it downloads a PDF, and I'll open it real quickly, 27 pages. This individual PDF will give you literally the step-by-step process, and it'll take you all of maybe 5 minutes to deploy this actual application. But because we're doing an actual video, let's go and take a look at it in my demo environment, and I'll showcase it for you. So we'll go into my call manager that I use in my classes, and we already have the IP phone service deployed, so I'll show you what that looks like. And if you want to do this live, you can, again, in your production environment or demo. Of course, if it's production, get permission to do so if needed. But if we go to our device tab, go to device settings, and then go to our phone services, this is where we're going to find all the IP phone services we have deployed. And you'll notice here at the bottom, I have an IP phone service called Singlewire Services. Now, the way I did this is I literally followed that PDF to a T. So you can copy and paste. So you go and you add new, and then this is really what the IP phone service looks like. Pretty simple. So you give it a service name. And guys, remember that service name, let me grab it real quick. So Singlewire Services is what's going to show up on the phone when the user goes to actually try to log into the service. From there, service description is optional. The service URL is the most important part. Also notice that it is a host name. That's why DNS has to work. And so all you're really doing here is you're saying, hey, call manager, when a user hits an IP phone service, don't check with me locally as well. Check outside at www.singlewire.com/free services/menu. And as long as your DNS works and you can reach the internet on the phone itself, all the magic is already done. So all we have to do is build the service once, and then either push it out as an enterprise description or allow users to go ahead and select it as an option, and then just make sure that whatever phones we want to have access to this service is subscribed to the service. So this is step number one. Basic XML service, standard IP phone service, service vendor, Singlewire software, pretty simple. From there, just make sure you enable it, save it, and then from there, go to your device tab, go to your phones, and you can do this one by one, or you can do it in bulk configuration if you want to. You'll see here, in this particular demo call manager, there's only a handful of phones, technically 2 that are registered. So what we'll do is we'll go into this 7970. Right, we'll click on the actual device itself. Upper right hand corner, related links. We'll go to subscribe, unsubscribe. Make sure we click the go button. Expand your window, and we'll see here this phone is already subscribed to the service. Now, if you were doing this from scratch, you would just go to your services, find Singlewire, and then choose it, subscribe, and then close out. So because that's already done, what I'm going to do now is showcase the actual application. So what I'm also using, and I haven't talked about it in this particular demo, but I will in another video if you will, is another piece of software via VoIP integration. right? So what you can see here is basically a software version of my physical phone. I have the physical phone right next to me. It is a 7970. It looks exactly like this. But this is kind of neat to showcase you guys via the video. So in this actual phone, what you'll do is you'll hit the services button, but on the physical phone, it's a little globe icon. So I'm going to press that button on my physical phone, and there'll be a tiny bit of delay there. And then here's my Singlewire services. So these are what we have options for: local weather, stock tickler, area code lookup, currency converter. So pretty neat, right? So what this phone did is it went out to the internet, to singlewireservices.com/free services/menu, and this is what's available. And so from there, choose the option. So what we'll do is I'll choose local weather. Let's go with that first. Right, US zip code, pretty simple there. We'll choose that. And then I am typically located in sunny Tampa, Florida. That's where I'm at right now. That's my home base, if you will. And I say typically sunny Tampa, Florida. Right now, it's not sunny at all, or at least it wasn't. It was actually storming outside. So let's take a look up real quick. So type in the zip code. I'm in 33635, which is Tampa. I'll submit it, and let's see what happens. And there we go. So 90% humidity sounds about right. Light rain. It was pouring rain earlier at 78 degrees. We had some winds. We got some forecast. Right, let me scroll down a little bit on this phone. So for tomorrow, moderate heavy rain, low of 75, high of 88. Right, pretty neat. And then you can update. Right, if I want to back out, I can also take a look at other things. I'm going to skip the stop tickler and go to area code lookup for now. Don't really own any stocks, probably should. So area code, if I say, you know what, I have a lot of received calls, or let's not say received calls. I have some missed calls from a number I'm not familiar with. I wonder where that's at. So maybe I type in an area code 480 because I don't know where that's at. And I submit it. Does a lookup and goes, oh, by the way, that's Arizona. And I go, wait a minute, Stormwind's headquartered in Arizona. It must be somebody calling me from work. Maybe I should call that number back. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's an IP phone service, a free one you can absolutely download with no strings attached. Go out there to singlewire.com, go to the free IP phone services, check out that PDF. From there, follow the directions, add to your call manager, and again, it should not affect your production network, but just make sure you have permissions for you to do that, and then figure out, hey, do I need to use this? Is it practical? Is it worth it? A lot of these things you can probably check on your mobile phone or app. But again, if you're sitting at your desk and you got the phone in front of you, that's just an example of one of the free IP phone services you guys can grab. Any questions, guys, let us know. Shoot us an email. Check out Ask a Mentor, and go from there. Have a good one.